If you're looking for help fixing your Chrysler automobile, look no further. Our comprehensive Chrysler Automobile Troubleshooting Guide will explain common issues, provide tips, and show you how to read your model's error codes. The engine is sputtering. There are multiple parts that keep an engine running well, but a misfiring or sputtering engine is one of the most common issues. For an engine to run efficiently, the right amount of air and fuel must mix and then burn within the combustion chamber. In order for this to run correctly, there are a number of components in the fuel and ignition systems that have to work in unison. In order to keep these types of issues to a minimum, the fuel and ignition systems must be maintained and replaced according to the manufacturer's recommendations. The steering wheel is shaking. There are a number of reasons why a steering wheel shakes when driving a vehicle. Damaged suspension components or wheel bearings are usually to blame if this happens immediately after you start the car and pull away. If the wheel shakes at higher speeds, it is more often an issue with tire wheel balance. To resolve this, you will need to take the car for a proper mechanical inspection. It could be as simple a fix as getting your wheels aligned. The brakes are squeaking, grinding. The brake system will start to wear out just like any other moving part you have in the car. Brakes are vital. They are essential to make sure you can stop safely, so any kind of brake-related problems, including unusual noise or a soft brake pedal, should be taken care of by a professional mechanic at the earliest possible opportunity. There are some minor issues that can cause brakes to squeak or squeal, but once you start to notice grinding, you definitely need to get them replaced. The car is consuming too much oil. Fresh oil is essential for a car to function, but if you are constantly topping up your oil level, you may have a problem with the car. If you start to notice a drop-off in performance or the oil light comes on, you will definitely need to check the oil. If you don't get the oil changed regularly, you might find that the engine becomes corroded. Poor quality oil or lack of regular changes can also cause blockages in the oil filter. It is best to change the oil filter at the same time as you change the oil, although some modern cars do have a filter bypass system in place. The radiator is leaking. Radiator leaks are almost always caused by corrosion. Corrosion itself can have a lot of causes, but once you get one leak, you are likely to get more, so it makes sense to replace the whole radiator. If you don't keep the radiator in good condition, you can get problems with overheating and, ultimately, could end up with an engine fire. The starter motor is failing. The starter motor is the component that turns the engine over when you start the car. If it fails, it is either a result of electrical solenoid damage, the motor itself has broken, or there are other faults in the electrical system. It is difficult to assess when a starter motor is likely to break, and to avoid replacing it unnecessarily, it is best to get the car inspected by a professional to determine the cause of the starting issues before doing so. There are cracks in the windscreen. Usually, it takes some kind of external force like a stone to crack a windscreen, but there are some cars that are prone to damage because of factory production vulnerabilities. Although a small crack might not seem like a big deal, it can spread rapidly and compromise the integrity of the glass.